Product marketing. Digital marketing has nowadays become a fundamental tool for any company to sell a product. Actually, a marketing campaign today cannot be conceived outside the digital environment. Therefore, the entrepreneur should have the necessary tools and strategies to reach the potential customer in the most effective way, which is precisely the aim of this chapter. To begin with, any good marketing strategy must inevitably start by concise market research, dealing with the macro and micro environments which determine the conditions of the operation. It goes without saying that rivalry between competitors or the threat of substitute products can affect the strategy as much as the situation according to country, region, climatic zone, political, legal, and economic systems. Then, an SWOT analysis must be performed to determine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the product. It seems obvious that knowing the advantages of your organization, the aspects of the product that could be improved, what chances can be spotted or obstacles are faced is essential to run an effective marketing campaign. Eventually, this will help to clearly define the target and ultimately foster the decision making process. Next, the infamous four P's of marketing must be considered. Any concerned entrepreneur today must be aware of the necessity to put the right product in the right place, at the right price, at the right time. The great value of Kotler's theory is to obtain an initial scheme, which refers to the basic and traditional marketing tools that are intended to establish the four basic pillars to be able to carry out the marketing plan. Finally, the emergence of channels such as social networks opens up the possibility of reaching a large number of people with an initial investment lower than in other media. This type of marketing is very important to reach young consumers and eliminates any type of special limitation when it comes to promoting the product, which explains why promoting in the social media has become essential in today's marketing campaign. Now, let's see all these aspects in detail. Market research. The market can be defined as a physical or ideal place in which an exchange ratio occurs. Yet, from the marketing perspective, the concept of market could be defined as a set of people, individual or organized, who need a particular product or service, who wish or may wish to buy and who have the economic and legal ability to do so. Market levels. When analyzing a market, we must distinguish between current market, buyers to whom the company sells; target market, buyers to whom the company wants to sell, which includes the current market and the non-consumer market; and potential market, current plus relative non-consumers. Macro research. Macro research is the part of environment beyond the company, which cannot be changed. Analyzing the macro environment is useful to find opportunities and threats that surround the company. The elements that should be analyzed are demographic environment. The birth rate in the Western countries is very low, and this will lead to a progressive decrease in population, unless it is compensated by an immigration of young people from other geographical areas. The geographic elements and changes that should be taken into account are population size, number of marriages, population pyramid, birth and death rates, migratory movements, age of emancipation of the parents, and number of family members. Economic environment. Here is where one should study the evolution of national income, interest rate, inflation, unemployment, the exchange rate, and the tax burden. These variables determine purchasing power and influence consumption. Cultural and social environment. The social and cultural changes that most affect consumption usually occurs within the family, like the greater incorporation of women and of young people in the world of work. There are also other factors such as tattoos, light products, ecological products, rhythm of life, payment methods, home size, shopping as leisure, body worship, increased free time, or families without grandparents. Legal and political environment. At present, the activity of many companies is influenced by legislation in the field of environment, toxic products, safety and occupational hazards, and the policy in matters of regulation of commercial practices. All these rules can generate business opportunities or threats for the company. Technology environment. Advances and innovations in the fields of electronics and computers have revolutionized the production processes, communications and transmission and processing of information. Changes in technology have led to an expansion and renovation of offered products and marketing systems. These include e-commerce, TV, catalog, applications of barcode or radio frequency to purchase application of ICT in the management and promotion of business. Environment. The environment has gained importance in recent years as consumers are more aware of the harm of some products because of industrial processing. Comments and articles on the exhaustion of natural resources, pollution of rivers and seas, toxic waste, and climate change are increasingly appearing in the news media. In reaction to social pressure, the authorities are regulating the use of natural products as well as the development of industrial processes and polluting products to a greater extent. As a company must comply with environmental legislation, these changes of the environment translate into a better perception of organic products, which becomes an opportunity of growth. Micro-research. The micro-research is the part of the environment closest to the company that can change or influence it. When we analyze it, we can find opportunities and threats that the environment poses to the company. The elements that should be analyzed are suppliers. There are all the companies that supply the market. Few companies or organizations are fully self-sufficient and can have all the resources and services, transportation, storage, insurance, legal and economic advice, that are part of the products they produce. Therefore, it is necessary to carry out good management of purchases that guarantees the supply of the necessary materials in the required quality and quantity. There is also a need for personnel policy that ensures its training and permanent updating and a pleasant working environment. In addition, the company must have good legal, financial, and fiscal services that allow the proper development of its management. Intermediaries. There are all the mediators between the company and the customer. The direct distribution between the producer and the consumer is not possible in many products, especially when the number of potential buyers is very high and they are dispersed in different geographical areas. In these cases, we must obligatorily turn to intermediaries, customers or consumers. They are all current and potential clients in the market. As for customers, it is necessary to analyze the evolution of their business activities and their bargaining power, conditioned by the structure of the market. If customers were few, Their bargaining power could affect the desired profitability objectives, the sales conditions, or the quality of the company's offer. Competitors. They are all the competition companies. Any competitor that survives is because it has a competitive advantage over the others. Therefore, it is necessary to study them as well as their products in detail, taking into account that the more similar competitors are, the stronger the competition will be. To analyze the competition, the company should ask the following questions. What are the competitors of the company brand? How intense is competition in the market? How does competition affect the evolution and structure of the market? How do competitive actions affect business decisions? How do companies achieve and maintain competitive advantages? Identifying the competitors is not as simple as it seems, since one should also take into account the potential competitors, which can originate for different reasons, such as the expansion of the market or product, integration, and/or association. The analysis of the competition, both actual and potential, requires constant and permanent information from it to evaluate its strengths and weaknesses that can in turn create opportunities or threats for the company. Lastly, interest groups. They are the groups media, for instance, that influence our exchange relationships. To take advantage of them, opportunity, one has to strengthen the public relations department.